You keep putting things off, not because you don't care, but because every time you try to start, something inside you tightens. It's not effort you're avoiding. It's not discipline. It's a version of yourself you're afraid to become. And the strange part is, you can't even explain why. From the outside, it looks simple. A task, an email, a decision you've thought about for weeks. You tell yourself you'll do it tomorrow. Then tomorrow comes and goes. Your mind creates reasons. I'm tired. I need more time. I'll do it when I feel ready. But deep down, you know that's not the full story. Because when something truly doesn't matter, you don't wrestle with it. You forget it. This feels different. You think about it in the shower, late at night, in small quiet moments. And every delay slowly changes how you see yourself. You start using heavy words. Lazy, undisciplined, broken. That identity sinks in. And once it does, starting feels even harder. Psychologically, this isn't a motivation problem. It's an identity conflict. You're not avoiding the task. You're avoiding who you would become if you followed through. And that's what makes this pattern so powerful and so misunderstood. Here's the reframe most people never hear. This behavior is not a flaw. It's an adaptation. Your brain learned, at some point, that becoming a certain version of you came with risk. Risk of judgment. Risk of responsibility. Risk of losing belonging. Risk of not being able to go back. So it did what brains do best. It protected you. Not from effort, but from identity change. Once you see this, the shame starts to loosen. Because laziness avoids work. But avoidance like this avoids transformation. And that difference changes everything. Let's slow this down and look inside the brain. Your brain is not designed to make you successful. It's designed to keep you safe. In cognitive science, identity is treated like a mental map. A stable story of who you are, how others see you, and what's expected of you. That map reduces uncertainty. Now here's the key mechanism. When an action threatens to update that map, the brain flags it as danger. Even if the action is positive. Starting the project doesn't just mean doing work. It means becoming someone who does that kind of work. And that activates the same neural systems involved in social threat and loss. The amygdala doesn't distinguish between. This might physically hurt. And this might change how I'm seen. So your nervous system pulls the brakes. Procrastination is the brake pedal. Here's a simple mental model. Imagine your identity as a house. Every room is familiar, safe, predictable. The task you're avoiding? It's a door to a new room. Once you open it, you can't pretend it doesn't exist. Your brain delays not because the room is bad, but because it's unknown. And unknown equals unsafe. That's the mechanism. This isn't fixed by trying harder. It's worked with strategically. Here's a framework grounded in psychology, not hype. What to do? Instead of asking, why can't I start? Ask, who would I become if I did? Why it works. Labeling identity threat moves activity from emotional circuits into the prefrontal cortex, reducing unconscious avoidance. Real-life example. You're avoiding posting online, not because of effort, but because posting means becoming someone visible. What to do? Redefine the action as a temporary behavior, not a permanent trait. Why it works. The brain resists permanent identity updates more than reversible actions. Real-life example. I'm not becoming a writer. I'm just writing one paragraph today. What to do? Create a rule. Action first, meaning later. Why it works. Evaluation activates self-concept monitoring, which increases avoidance under identity threat. Real-life example. You draft the email without deciding what it means about you. What to do? Repeat the action at low intensity until it feels normal, not impressive. Why it works. The brain trusts patterns, not outcomes. Familiarity lowers threat signals. Real-life example. You show up to the gym just to walk, no performance pressure. What to do? Allow behavior to accumulate before adopting the label. Why it works. Identity updates feel safer when supported by repeated evidence. Real-life example. You don't call yourself disciplined. You just keep doing the thing quietly. Each step reduces threat, not effort. That's the difference. Here's the model to remember. Avoidance isn't resistance to work. It's resistance to self-updating. Your brain delays when change feels irreversible. So progress comes from making change feel reversible, small, and familiar. Not dramatic. Not heroic. Just neurologically tolerable. When you work with the brain instead of against it, momentum returns naturally. One day, you'll look back and realize you were never lazy. You were standing at the edge of becoming someone new, and your nervous system needed proof it was safe. That proof doesn't come from confidence. It comes from gentle repetition, from showing up without forcing an identity, and letting yourself change. Quietly. Not all growth feels like motivation. Sometimes it feels like hesitation slowly loosening its grip. And that's still progress.